Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel StudyTube India for Commerce and Management. In this lesson, we will be studying the concept of program evaluation and review technique, that is PERT, under project management. Now let us study what are the steps in the PERT planning process. So the first step in PERT planning process is identify the specific activities and milestones. So the activities are the tasks needed to complete the project, and the milestones are the events marking the beginning and the end of one or more activities. So we have already studied in the very first lesson of business planning and project management what are activities and milestones, right? So we need to identify specific activities and milestones. Then next step is, once we identify the specific activities and milestones, we need to determine the proper sequence of the activities. So this step may be combined collectively with the activity identification step, as the activity sequence is also known for some tasks. Other tasks may need more analysis to verify the exact order in which they should be performed, right? So पहले आपको activity specify करनी है, then you have to determine the proper sequence of executing these activities. Then using the activity sequence information, a network diagram can be drawn showing the sequence of a serial and parallel activities, that is constructing a proper network diagram. So in next few slides, we will be studying how to construct a network diagram as well. Then fourth step in planning process is estimating the time required for each activity. Weeks are commonly used unit of time for activity, that is a specific activity may require 2 weeks of time to complete or 1 week time to complete. So weeks are commonly used unit for completion time, but any reliable unit of time can be used like days or even months, depending upon the nature of the project and the deliverables. So that is fourth step. Then we have fifth step, that is determining the critical path. Now this critical path is determined by totaling the time for the activities in each sequence and determining the longest path in the project. Very important, I will repeat. You need to determine the longest path in the project or to complete the project. That is referred to as critical path. Here, if the activity is outside the critical path speed up or slow down, the total project time does not alter. Therefore, the amount of time that a non-critical path activity can be postponed without delaying the project, which is referred to as slack time. Now, when we are actually designing or constructing a network diagram, it may be there is possibility that we are not able to determine the critical path very easily. So if we are unable to determine it, there are certain quantities for each activity which are ES, that is earliest start time, which refers to the earliest possible point in time on which the uncompleted portions of an activity can begin. So based on the network logic and any schedule constraints, early start date or early start time can alter as the project progresses and changes are made in the project plan. Then we have earliest finish time or earliest finish date. So in critical path method, the earliest possible point in time on which the uncompleted action of an activity can end based on the network logic and any schedule restriction is referred to as earliest finish time. Now, these early finish times or early finish dates can change as the project progresses and changes are made to the project plan. Then we have LS, that is latest start time, which refers to the latest possible point in time that that an activity may begin without delaying a specific milestone, is referred to as latest start time or late start date. Then we have latest finish date, that is the latest possible time in which the activity may be completed without delaying a particular milestone, is referred to as latest finish date, right? I'll repeat it again for you. ES, that is earliest start time, मतलब कितने, basically the earliest possible point जब हम लोग activity start कर सकते हैं. Earliest finish is the earliest possible time when we can complete the activity. ठीक है. Latest start is the last or possible time जब हम लोग activity start कर सकते हैं, and latest finish is the last possible time to complete the taken activity, is referred to as latest finish. Very easy. ठीक है. Then we have two more quantities, that is lag time. So lag time is when a modification of a logical relationship which directs a delay in the successor task. For instance, in a finish to start dependency with a 10-day lag, the successor activity cannot start until 10 days after the predecessor has finished. So that is referred to as lag time. And also similarly, we have lead time, which is a modification of a logical relationship which permits an acceleration to the successor task. For instance, in a finish to start dependency with a 10-day lead, the successor activity can start 10 days before the predecessor activity has finished. So that is referred to as your lead time. Right? I will repeat it for you again. ES is the earliest start time. That is the earliest possible point to start a particular activity. EF, that is early finish, that is earliest possible time to complete the activity. Latest start point is the latest or the last point of time to start an activity, and latest finish is the latest or the last point of time to complete the activity. Then we have lag time. lag time मतलब अगर कोई एक्टिविटी 10 दिन लेट चल रही या फिर 10 दिन बाद कंप्लीट होगी, सो दैट विल बी रेफर्ड टू एज लैग टाइम. एंड लीड टाइम इज अगर कोई एक्टिविटी 10 दिन पहले खत्म होती है, इन दैट केस दैट विल बी द लीड टाइम. I hope this is very clear to you now. Then moving ahead with the last step of PERT planning process, which is updating the PERT chart as the project progresses. So making adjustments in the PERT chart as the project progresses. As the project discloses the estimated times, it can be restored and with actual times. So yes, यहाँ तक जो चल रहा था, that was only on estimation basis, on assumption basis. As and when the project progresses, we can update the PERT chart with the actual timings. So in case where there are delays, additional resources may be required to stay on schedule, and the PERT chart may be modified to reveal the new situations. So these are all the steps that are required in PERT planning process. We'll just quickly run through the the parts of PERT chart so that you get a better idea. So here these are referred to as nodes. So ये जो है, these are the start. This is referred to as an event. ठीक है. ये जो है ये tasks है, that is the activities. Now the start or the end of the activity of this activity is referred to as node. ठीक है, ये दो जो है circular shapes is referred to as event. ठीक है, these are at the start and end of each activity. Activities are represented by an arrow. If the arrow is in this side, which means activity ulta chal raha hai, but generally it goes from, rather it progresses from left to right. Right, so these are activities. Now यहाँ पे जो चीजें पैरेलल सॉरी जो नोड्स पैरेलल है, these are नॉन डिपेंडेंट इवेंट्स, तो ये आपको मेंशन करना जरूरी है. Then as it progresses we have dependent events as well. So here आप इसे इस तरीके से याद कर सकते हो कि let us say this is your event, or rather this is your event. ठीक है, so since these are dependent events, इसका जो पहले वाला event है that is referred to as predecessor event. Why? Because जब तक ये activity complete नहीं होता है, जब तक ये event complete नहीं होता है, rather activity complete नहीं होता है, we cannot start with next activity. Therefore this is referred to as predecessor event, and this is referred to as successor event. Unless and until ये event complete नहीं होता है, we cannot start with the next event or the next activity. So event के पहले जो event आता है that is referred to as predecessor event, and event के बाद में जो event आता है that is referred to as successor event. I hope this is very clear to you all. Now let us just see what are the advantages and limitations of PERT. So the first advantage of PERT is that it forces the managers to plan their project critically and analyze all the factors affecting the development of the plan. So the process of network analysis depends that the project planning to be performed on considerable detail from start to finish. Then only you can construct a PERT, or you can utilize this technique. Then next is it offers management a tool for forecasting the influence of schedule changes and be prepared to rectify the situations, if any. The problem area is recognized at an early stage so as to apply corrective actions in case if we are using PERT technique. Then a lot of data, a huge data can be accessible in orderly form. The tasks relationships are graphically represented for easier evaluation. जैसे हमने पहले वाले चार्ट में देखा how the PERT chart is created. So बड़े से बड़ा डेटा हम लोग graphical representation में हम लोग डाल सकते हैं, which makes it easier for evaluation for the project managers when there are ample of projects running simultaneously. Then high degree of accuracy. And lastly, we have enhanced communication processes. So the network provides a universal ground for various parties such as designers, contractors, project managers, sponsors, team members, etc. And they must all value and appreciate each other's roles and contributions. Therefore, PERT technique is one of the most popular technique in project management. However, apart from these advantages or merits, there are certain limitations or demerits as well. So demerits would be uncertainty about estimate of time and resources. So these must be assumed and the results can only be as good as the assumptions. So जितने अच्छी तरीके से आप assumptions बनाओगे, जितने practical assumptions आप पकड़ के चलेंगे, उतना ही आपका result better आएगा, right? Then higher costs. The costs may be higher than the conventional methods of planning and control because the nature of networking and network analysis requires high degree of planning skill and greater amount of details, which would boost the cost in time and manpower and resources. So it is slightly on, it is on higher costs. And lastly, it is unsuitable for simple and repetitive processes, such as assembly line work, which are fixed sequence jobs. उनके लिए ये unsuitable रहेगा ये networking technique, right? So yes, people, this is all about PERT network technique, that is program evaluation and review technique. I hope you've understood this lesson. If you have any doubts or queries regarding this particular lesson, please let me know in the comment section below, or you can also let me know during the live class. I will be more than happy to help you with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next class. Until then, take care and happy learning.